The 1999 film The Matrix. It was iconic to say the least. The philosophical concepts and ideas that it presents are mind-bending. I remember when I had first seen it, and after the movie had finished, my child adolescent brain couldn't comprehend what I had just seen. Dumbfounded. I had to watch it multiple times just to make sense of it. Sidebar. I don't even know how I was allowed in the theater to even see this. It's rated R. The film was groundbreaking. It challenged traditional ideas of reality and perception. It explores simulated reality in a profound way. It's nearly impossible to seriously talk about the film without mentioning the concepts and philosophies it introduces. Strangely enough though, if I had to choose one piece of clothing that reminds me of the film, it would be the high-low dress. Not because it was in the film, because it wasn't. Like, at all.
Huh?
Let me explain. To understand why I chose this dress, first I have to tell you about this man. This is Jean Baudrillard. He was a French philosopher who wrote extensively about the relationship between reality and simulation. His ideas heavily permeate throughout the entirety of the Matrix film. It can be argued that the entire theme of red pill, blue pill, the simulation, the Matrix itself is all an adaptation of his philosophical work. In the movie, the protagonist Neo is given a choice between taking a blue pill, which will allow him to continue living a simulated reality, and a red pill, which will awaken him to the true nature of the world. This choice can be seen as a metaphor for choosing to accept or reject simulacra and hyperreality. Baudrillard argued that modern society creates and consumes images and symbols rather than actual objects and experiences. He believed we soon would live in a world where reality is no longer distinguishable from the simulation. He argued that through the terms of hyperreality and simulacra or simulacrum. A simulacrum is a copy or imitation of a thing where the original is somehow lost or disconnected from what's being presented. Things become only self-contained and self-referential. To put it simply, it's when a thing looks like a thing but is actually not that thing. I know the concept is kind of wispy and abstract, but here are some examples. Think advertisements. When a product is portrayed in a certain way to make it look more appealing than it actually is, the lifestyle or the actual product doesn't match your real experience. Or simulacra can be things like TV shows. Think reality TV. People aren't just naturally responding to their environment. Scenes are edited and situations are manipulated to create maximum drama and conflict. The shows create a simulacrum of reality, but in reality, the shows are quite far from what we might consider real. There are tons of other things that can be simulacra, but I'll leave you with one more, and that's social media. Social media platforms create an environment where people often selectively choose how they want to be perceived versus whatever reality is for them. It is their highlight reel. What you see online is not an accurate representation of who they really are. It's a symbol of them, an image. When everything becomes a symbol or an illusion, it creates a hyperreality. Hyperreality is another important concept in Baudrillard's philosophy. In a world of hyperreality, it's hard to tell what's true and what's not. This can make it tough to tell what's really happening in the world around us. We may begin to believe in the reality of things that are only simulation. In summary, Baudrillard's concepts of simulacra and hyperreality suggest our experience of reality is increasingly mediated by symbols and images. to the point where we may no longer be able to distinguish between the real and the simulated. The high-low dress is a garment with a dramatic asymmetrical hemline, where the back is longer than the front, or in some cases, one side is longer than the other. The dress kind of creates an illusion of what it really is, depending on the viewing angle. Is this a long dress?
Nope.
While these garments still have a wow factor to this very day, imagine how they were received when they first became a thing. Not well, actually, or at least by more traditional and conservative people. However, among the it crowd, it was super popular. The dress originated in the 1920s. It was a reflection of changing social norms of the time, as women began to assert their independence and challenge traditional gender roles. The Jazz Age brought with it shorter hair, shorter skirts, and a greater sense of freedom and rebellion. In the 1950s, the dress was reintroduced with more formal iteration in response to the post-war era. Fashion became more glamorous and ornate, and the high-low dress has evolved over time to reflect those changes. The garment's versatility and adaptability have allowed it to remain popular for well over a century now. So how does all of this work together? The high-low dress, the Matrix, how does it all compare through the philosopher's lens? Hi, this is AJ in editing. When I say through a philosophical lens, I mean a more of a general philosophical viewpoint, and not specifically Baudrillard. In fact, anyone except Baudrillard's philosophical lens. Despite the movie being based on his work and his book being seen in the opening scenes of the movie, he hated The Matrix. If you're interested in finding out why, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video on it later. Okay, moving on. The high-low dress can be seen as a representation of both the real and the hyper-real. The dress's hemline creates contrast between the front and the back, as if to ask, what really is this dress when only seen at a glance? Similarly, the Matrix film often asks, is what I'm seeing real or simulacrum? One way to think about it is that the cultural history of the high-low dress is a symbol of the tension between tradition and rebellion, just as the Matrix is a symbol of tension between reality and simulation. Both the high-low dress and the Matrix can be seen as subversive forces that challenge the status quo. The dress disrupted the notion of perfect or ideal, though one may still find perfection in the imperfect and security in uncertainty. Similarly, the film's protagonists find uncomfortability in the real, but breaths of respite in each truth revealed. Thanks for sticking around with me to the end of the video. I really appreciate you coming back and checking me out. If you'd like to support the brand and the channel, you can take a look at our high-low dresses on Imaging.com. I'll leave a link in the description or in the bio, depending on where you're viewing this. Be sure to like and share this video. Likes and shares are free, so share this with everyone you know. But I'll see you in the next video. Peace.